Guys, we are doing dimensional analysis using density as a conversion factor. Density equals mass over volume. The most common units for density are grams per milliliter. If you remember milliliter, 1 milliliter is the same as 1 centimeter cubed, which is the same as 1 cc. Water is a density that you need to memorize, and the density of water is 1 gram per milliliter. I like to think of milliliters as the volume unit for a liquid typically, and centimeter cubed is typically the volume unit for length times width times height. If you're measuring something like a fish tank, you could convert easily between inches cubed to centimeter cubed and then on into milliliters, which would then get you into liters, quarts, gallons, etc. So first, let's use density as a conversion factor. It's an awesome conversion factor because it allows you to go from a mass to a volume or a volume to a mass. If I'm looking at the next problem, I see that we have a volume of 2.2 quarts, we have a density given to us, and we have a question of how many pounds of liquid. So we're looking for pounds and we have quarts to start with. So 2.2 quarts, we will want to convert quarts to milliliters, so that's 946 milliliters. If you're in Chemistry 105, we use 946.4 milliliters per quart. We will then use density. We're ready for density because we're in milliliters. There's the milliliter unit, 1.37 grams per 1 milliliter. Density right there. We're now in grams, 454 grams in 1 pound. Again, if you are in Chemistry 105, you would use 453.6 grams in 1 pound because that's what we learned as the conversion factor. Plugging this in, it's 2.2 times 946 times 1.37 divided by 454. And I get on my calculator the 6.2802 yada yada. Go back and count significant digits. 2, 3, 3, and 3. So 2 is my least. And 8 does make a 2 go up, so 6.3 pounds would be my answer. This time we're going to convert into volume, and we have ounces given to us. Now, confusion that many students have is they see ounces and they think fluid ounces. We're talking dry weight ounces here. We're not dealing with fluid ounces. It will say specifically fluid ounces if that's what it means. So 4.235 ounces, and we know that there are 16 ounces in 1 pound. Pounds cancel. 1 pound is 454 grams. Using our density, this time we put 13.5 grams on bottom, 1 milliliter on top. And the great thing about this problem is it just said volume. It doesn't ask a certain unit, so volume is milliliters. We can stop right there. Plugging it in, we will do 4.235 divided by 16 times 454 divided by 13.5, and on my calculator I get the 8.90. 1342 yada yada. Go back to the numbers at the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4 significant digits. This is exact, this is 3, and this is 3, so my answer should have 3. A 1 does not make a 0 go up, so 8.90 milliliters. Alright, we're going to look now at cubing and squaring. Before I move to that though, I want to just point out again that density is a wonderful conversion factor because it is at this point the only thing we've seen that allows us to convert from a mass to a volume or a volume to a mass, and that is an awesome conversion factor because most of the conversion factors we have are volume or length or mass, and so it is an exceptional conversion factor. Now, when we're looking at cubing and squaring, we need to realize that if our conversion factor is true, then in order to make it true when it's squared, not only do we need to square the unit, but we also must square the number as well. So if we will agree that 12 inches equals 1 foot, and I think we all would agree with that, then if we square 1 foot squared, that means we cannot just square inches, we also have to square 12. If it bothers you that I didn't put the square on 1, then go ahead and square the 1. Remember that 1 squared is still 1. We can do this with any of our length conversion factors. So if we look at 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch, then if we're trying to find centimeter cubed or milliliters, and we have our length inches times inches times inches, then that would be inches cubed. We could convert that to centimeters cubed by simply cubing the entire conversion factor. So 2.54 cubed centimeter cubed equals 1 cubed inch cubed. Again, realize the same thing would be 2.54 cubed centimeter cubed equals 1 inch cubed, because 1 cubed is 1. Alright, let's look at a piece of paper, and if we have 8.5 inches by 11 inches, the first thing we will need to do is see what 8.5 times 11 is, and that is 93.5 inches squared. We're looking at converting inches squared to decimeters squared. I don't know an inch decimeter conversion, but I do know inch centimeter conversion. So I'm going to say 1 inch squared is 2.54 squared centimeters squared. Then I'm going to come over to the side of my paper and do my metric conversions. Kilo, hecto, deca, base, deci, centi, milli, space, micro, space, nano. And I'm going to look at the difference between centi and deci, and that is just a power of 1, 10, so just 10. Who's smaller? Centi is smaller, so that means there are 10 centimeters in 1 decimeter. I put centimeter on bottom because I'm going to need centimeters squared to cancel out. So in order to make this squared, I have to square everything. So when I square everything, our centimeters squared cancels, our inches squared have canceled. Now I can plug it in my calculator. If you have an x squared key, feel free to use that. I also will often use the y to the x key. So we are looking at 93.5 times 2.54 x squared divided by 10 x squared. And on our calculator we get 6.032246. If we look at significant digits, we don't look at our calculated number. We actually go back and look at original numbers, which were 2 and 2. This is exact, this is exact. So I have 2 here, 2 here. My answer then must be 2. The 3 does not make that go up, so 6.0 decimeter squared. Alright, the main swimming area at Russell Sims is 50 meter by 25 yards by 4 foot 5 inches. How many gallons does this area of the swimming pool contain? Similar to a fish tank question. I purposely made this one a little bit more work for you because we have meters, yards, and feet and inches, all of these together. So let's put everything in meters. Now why did I choose meters? Because if I choose meters, then I can go meters cubed, which would then be easily to convert to meter cubed, and I think that would be the easier route to take. So let's leave meters. We're going to take 25 yards and convert it to meters. 1 yard is 3 feet, and 1 foot is 12 inches. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. Now, at this point, I'm noticing there, why don't I just leave this in centimeters? It's 6 of one, half dozen of another. I can leave it in centimeters here. I can take it on to meters. I'm going to have to get out of meters in a minute. I think I'm going to change my mind and leave it in centimeters, and then I'll go ahead and convert meters to centimeters on that problem as well. It really makes no difference as long as they're all in the same unit. All right, 4 foot 5 inches. In order to do this, I actually probably would be the best thing to put everything in inches and centimeters from inches, and so I think I'm going to do that. I hope we all can say that 4 feet is 48 inches. If not, there are 12 inches in a foot. So I'm going to assume you know that. So 48 inches plus 5 inches equals 53 inches. Hopefully, don't need to show that work. So let's do 53 inches, 1 inch, 2.54 centimeters. I'll come back with the calculator in a minute. Remember, I'm putting everything in centimeters. Here are my 50 meters. So let's go up here and notice the difference between centi and base. That's 2 steps. That means centi's smaller, base is higher, it's bigger. So that would be 10 to the second centimeters in 1 meter. Meters cancel. All right, picking up my calculator. 25 times 3 times 12 times 2.54. I cannot round any of these. So 2286 centimeters. Now 53 times 2.54, and that is 134.62 centimeters. And then 50 times 10 y to the x2, and that's 5,000 centimeters. We're going to multiply all of those together to get the volume. So I've got 5,000 on my calculator. Multiply that by 134.62. Multiply by 2286. And we get this huge number, 1538706,600 centimeters cubed. All right, at this point, you're probably wondering, what am I even doing? Okay, well, we're going to gallons. Let's not where we're going. So we're going to gallons. So let's look now at gallons. And we know that 1 centimeter cubed is 1 milliliter. Centimeters cubed cancel. There are 946 milliliters in 1 quart. There are 4 quarts in 1 gallon. And we're in gallons. Hopefully you didn't clear the calculator. You've got this already on your calculator. So we're going to simply plug in and divided by 946 divided by 4. And you would expect this to be a large number, I hope. 406634.9366. Significant figures are going to come from the original numbers. And if we go back to original numbers, this had 2, this had 2. And the way 4 foot 5 inches is written is a little odd. We're going to call that 2 significant digits as well. So we want 2 significant digits in our final answer. The 6 makes the 0 go up. So that's 41. Or we could write it as, and if you recall how to put these in scientific notation, you go second 5, or count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4.1 times 10 to the 5th gallons, or 410,000 gallons. Either answer is fine. A lot of water. All right, now we are taking the knowledge we've learned at this point and putting it together for this problem. So we're going to look at a bridge that has a volume, the pillar has a volume of 22.68 meters cubed. If it's made with concrete that has a density of 2.4 grams per milliliter, what is the mass in tons? So this is taking all the knowledge that we've learned today, putting it together. Question, where do you start? remember, if there is a 2-unit number and there's a 1-unit number, you're going to start with a 1-unit number and you're going to use the 2-unit number as the conversion factor. And remember, density is an awesome conversion factor. So we're going to use density as a conversion factor here. So let's get started. Let's start with our 22.68 meters cubed. I'm forecasting that this is going to be a long problem, so I'm starting on the far left-hand side of the paper. Why will I want to take this to centimeters cubed? Because I remember that milliliters same as centimeter cubed. If I wanted to, I could actually save myself a step and scratch out milliliters and put centimeter cubed there. So meter is bigger than a centimeter. I'm going to go back up to my scale here. Centi is here, meter is here, 1, 2, that means 10 to the second centimeters are in 1 meter, but I'm cubing everything. So I need to cube, 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 and cube. Don't forget to do that, and that is 10 to the 6. You multiply coefficients. Meters cubed cancel. I'm now in centimeter cube, and look, I changed the density to grams per centimeter cubed, so I can simply put 2.4 grams per centimeter cubed. Centimeter cube cancel. I'm looking for tons. I know there are 454 grams in 1 pound, and I know that there are 2,000 pounds in 1 ton. This problem wasn't as long as I thought it would be. So let's plug it in. .68 times 10 y to the x 6 times 2.4 divided by 4, 54 divided by 2,000. And I have my calculator in scientific notation, so let's take it out. Second flow. And we get on our calculator 59.947. How many significant digits do we need? Go back to original numbers. We had 4 here and we have 2 here. This is exact, this is 3, this is exact. So 2 is my least. So there's 2. Does a 9 make a 5 or a 9 go up? Of course it does. That becomes 60, and I must put the decimal tons. All right, guys. Hope that helps.